Welcome back to another video. Today I'm installing a new front bumper for my 90 Toyota pickup 3/4 swap. This is a bumper made from Trail Gear. This is their low profile. They have another version which has like a big old stinger. I don't like that style just because it doesn't look too good with my truck because it's a bit bigger. So this is the low profile from Trail Gear. I'm gonna spray some brake cleaner, give it a little nice wipe down, and then we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna go ahead and put a can of primer and a couple cans of black spray paint. We're not gonna make this look super pretty. We just need to put some paint on this so that it's rust proof. And then I'll show you guys how I install it. So let me go ahead and give you guys a quick walk around so you guys can see how this bumper mounts onto the truck and etc, etc. This part number here is from Trail Gear 120189-1 kit. Fits the 89 through 95 Toyota pickup and also the 90 through 95 Toyota 4Runners. Alright, you guys can see right here we have the bumper. This one is accessible if you want to put a winch, so you can put a winch like the 8,000 pound to even a 10K pound winch. Pretty nice, really nice. I'll most likely put a winch on it. And again, my truck is made for being a city crawler, but the reason why I bought this is because I want some protection in case something ever happens, to protect the front of my engine. So this is it right here, really nice. Nice tubing, some nice welding from Trail Gear. This is where the winch mount will go into. You have all your mounting hose right here. This is a completely bolt-on bumper. You don't need to weld this onto your front truck or anything like that. Also comes with a 2-inch receiver, so you can put a 2-inch receiver for recovery. So on the mounting points, it's on your front cross member of your truck. You have two hoses, which are these right here, and that's where it mounts to. You have to buy your own hardware. I'll talk about the hardware later on once we get to the installation. And then it also has another hole up here, and I'll talk about that later as well. That's another mounting point if you buy a reinforcement plate. Along with those mounting points right here, you also have these two hoses on the side. These mount to the side where your original bumper mounts to, and I'll talk about that later on once we get into the installation. So that's it on this side as well. Really nice DOM tubing, which is some really good metal. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's go ahead and brake clean, prime, and paint. I finally bought a proper mask for painting and stuff like that, so I don't get all the fumes on me. So this is my first time using it. I'll check it out and see how it is. Woo! Smells good, feels good. Make sure you have some ventilation. I went ahead and opened up my garage. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect or anything like that. It just needs to be clean, degreased and such. This is a little, we got a new rug for our living room, so this is the old rug, and I'm gonna use this so when I start spray painting, my garage don't get dirty. So don't worry about this rug down here. I think we're good. Let's move on, guys. The paint that I'm going to be using is this Rust-Oleum. I usually use Rust-Oleum all the time, but this year I started using a different brand of Rust-Oleum, and I really like this Rust-Oleum brand. I also used this one on my rear bumper that I did about a couple weeks ago, and I love it. So this is the Rust-Oleum Professional. I feel like it just sticks a little bit more better, and I feel like it is a bit more tougher versus their regular lineup. So I'm using the primer, Rust-Oleum primer. this is almost empty, so I'm gonna use the rest of this and then probably put another can right there, and then we're gonna go ahead. This one's about half empty as well, but we're just gonna go ahead and put at least half of this can and another full can. So we're just gonna put at least 2 or 3 coats of black spray paint on it, just so that it's nice and sturdy, and then in the future, if it gets damaged or anything like that, we can just go ahead and touch it up. Again, we're not doing anything fancy. I'm not gonna go ahead and sand it. I'm not gonna go ahead and make it super nice. I know these bumpers, they get a lot of wear and tear, and eventually they're gonna get chipped up anyways when they're on the road. So it's just gonna be put some nice paint, and we'll touch it up in the future. There's no techniques on how to do it. You can do it at your own pace, guys. So do whatever way you like it.
far the paint's going good, guys. We still have about maybe half can of black spray paint. I still want to put another coat on it. Right now I have like maybe one full coat and maybe some touch up, but I want another coat on it, so I'm gonna give it about another 15 to 30 minutes right now. I gotta open up my garage because a lot of the fumes going back inside my house, and the wife's kind of tripping out a little bit. So I'm gonna open it up, let the air go out for a bit, and then probably let this sit for another 30 minutes, and then finish up this whole can here. You can hear that, still lots of paint in here. I want to empty that whole can and then let it cure for about 1 or 2 hours. And then after that, we can go ahead and start the install. You do need your own bolts for this, so let me go ahead and talk about the bolts real quick. They're different sizes, so let me talk about those real quick. There's 4 bolts that goes in the front, but there's two different sizes for those front end. Front end, you have M10, which is the most inner. The 2 most inner is M10. Let me show you guys. So you have the most outer. So the most outer is the M10. I don't know what the size is, but it can be a little bit long because we're gonna stack it up with other plates and such. So M10 for the outside, and then the inner is M14, which is a bit different, or it's M12, I believe. But it's one of those. You'll know the size. M12, 1.25. It's all metric. And then the one that goes on the side right here, those are the big one as well. So the one that goes on the side and the one that's the most inner, they're the same size. But then the 2 outer, they're the M10 125. While I'm waiting for the bumper to dry and cure, we'll go ahead and start removing the front of the bumper here. I feel really bad because I literally just installed that light bar like 2-3 weeks ago, and I was really enjoying it. So right now, we can't use that light bar anymore on this bumper, unless I decide to make some kind of custom mount tabs that will mount on the top of the bumper. We'll see how it goes, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and remove this bumper. I do like this setup because this is a very nice, clean setup. But again, the main reason why I decided to get this bumper because I feel like I want to get some protection. I'm gonna use this for a daily. If I ever get into any kind of accident, I want to protect this vehicle as much as possible, protect the engine and etc. So I'm gonna remove this bumper. I might keep this bumper for backup. Let's say if in the future I want to take off that trail gear bumper and go back to a stock setup, I can slap this on because I have 3 extra bumper. I have this one and I have 2 other ones that I'm trying to sell right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off this bumper. The light bar is on a quick disconnect, so I can just unplug it. I don't have to cut any of the wires. I can just unplug it, and then maybe in the future I can get some new lights, maybe some poly lights or some round lights, and mount it to that the new bumper or something like that. And then we'll have to figure out what we want to do for the turn signal, because with this new bumper we're gonna lose turn signals. So I'm gonna have to find a way to mount some tabs and get some different turn signals. I don't want to put these on it because these are big and rectangular. It wouldn't match the bumper no more, but we'll figure that out later. My LED light bar is connected right behind the grill. I just gotta cut the zip tie. 1, 2, 3. And then right behind here is my quick disconnect. You can see here, really simple. If I don't keep this bumper anymore, I'll go ahead and sell the whole bumper with the light bar, or I might sell it separately. But that's a quick disconnect. This is really nice when you're mounting up light bars or any kind of LED light. It's nice to have a quick disconnect like something like this. So super nice. This is a night light right here. For the turn signal, I'm not gonna unmount it from the bumper. I'm just gonna go ahead and unplug it from the back. You can just twist it around and it'll pop right out. Well, maybe I do have to unplug it, so give me a second here. Here, let me go ahead and unmount the bumper, and then I can unplug the wires from the bulb socket. So on the bumper here, there's 2 14mm bolts that goes on the side, on each side, and on the new bumper, that's where it's gonna mount on. So the new bumper, it mounts on this side right here, and then these holes right here, they have nuts and wood on the back of it, and that's where they bolt into. So you can see that this hole right here is smaller. This is the M10 by 125, and then this one here I believe is the M12. It's a bigger bolt. I don't know why they did it like that, but that's just what they did. So go ahead and take off your bolts. You might want to keep these. If you don't know the size, you can keep these for future reference. So once the bumper is off like this, you want to make sure you unplug it from the socket here. And let me do that real quick. There you go, the bumper's off, just like that. This is a super nice clean bumper. So super amazing. And these are the mounts right here, where the two bolts went to on the side. So now that we have the bumper out, you guys can see what I'm talking about. These holes here, you can see how one is bigger. This is the bigger one, this is the smaller one. And then on the side of it right here, this is where it's also gonna mount to. Now they sell a reinforcement plate. There's a reinforcement plate that runs along this frame rail, and then it also has a gut set up here along with the additional mounting hole. I have ordered that plate already, and once that plate get here, I'll go ahead and install that. I'm gonna go ahead and install that plate and then weld it to the frame, and then that bumper will just butt to right here onto that plate, and we have an extra heavy duty reinforcement along with an additional bolt now on each of the top ends. So that's something that's gonna come here next week or so, and I'll talk more about that in the future. Now we're not gonna weld the bumper itself to this frame because I don't want it to be permanent, but we are welding that reinforcement plate to the actual front cross member frame here. They call it a frame brace for the IFS truck. So now you know where your mounting holes are. This is the moment we're gonna go ahead and install it. You guys can see that the front of here is a bit more spray painted. I did went ahead and put some spray paint just on my front end for protection. I'm gonna go ahead and try to manhandle this myself. Last time when I did my rear bumper, the trail gear, I manhandled it myself with a couple of jack stand. But I'm gonna try to do it. It's not super heavy, it's just kind of awkward. It is nice if you have another person. Unfortunately I don't. I have my wife, which I don't want her to get involved. So I'm just gonna try to get it up. I'm gonna try to start by bolting the front bolts, at least get one of each bolt on, and then after that I'll go ahead and get all the bolts on, and then I'll take off one bolt at a time and put anti-seize on it, and then we'll go ahead and torque them down or tighten them down. So let's go ahead and try this. I have all my bolts with a lock washer and a washer, so make sure you have some kind of stuff like that. You can put Loctite, but I don't feel like I need to because I'm gonna be taking this bumper back off when I get my reinforcement frame brace. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my bolts nearby. These are the M10, which are the one that goes on the outside right here. And again, the other day I already went ahead and cleaned my hose, the nut hose down here. I went ahead and put a bolt through it, clean it, sprayed it with WD-40, so it should be nice and good and easy to go through. It might be a little bit rough right now because I just put some spray paint, so maybe spray paint got in it, but it should be good. Do something like that. Yeah, these are different. took off the bolt on the side of the passenger, and I was able to get the two side over here on. So I think we're making good progress. I gotta do this side back on. You gotta just have to wiggle and jiggle it around. It's a very tight fit, but it'll go in there. And the bolts for the side, the stock ones are the perfect size. You don't need to get new ones for these. These are perfect. Okay, so we got all the bolts on the side on. We just need to get this one in and two of these over here on, and hopefully everything lines up. So far it looks pretty even with the grill. Now we just need to get these lined up. I did scratch the bumper a little bit, but that's not a big deal. We'll go ahead and retouch it up later. And like I said, guys, make sure you tighten it first. Hand tighten it. You don't want to strip it. These are blind hole nuts, so see, that one feels like it's going in, but let me go by this way. Okay, so it's going in now. It's going in nice and smooth. This one needs some thread sealing. There it is. Bumper is finally installed. Feels good. Doesn't take up too much room in the garage. It did come out a little bit more forward, but other than that, it looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the vehicle out for a second and do a little quick touch up. Here's the final product of the bumper. I gave it a little quick touch-up paint, so it's still kind of drying. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back to the garage. Looks good. Looks fresh. Now I have protection on the front end. Lots of room right there. I might put a grill hoop. So if you guys don't know what a grill hoop is, it's basically like a instead of having a big old stinger, a grill hoop is just enough where it comes up to the grill and then goes back down. And I think something like that would be a little bit more better, and that will protect the front top and more the grill itself. I'll give you guys a far view of it. That's what it looks like. I'll probably go and purchase a little cheap winch on Amazon, something like a 8K winch, and slap it on there just so that if I ever get stuck in the city or whenever there's a big snowstorm in town, I can recover myself or recover other people. But this is my new daily, all armored up. We might do some sliders, but again, I keep telling myself that we're not gonna do any more stuff to it, so maybe I'll do some sliders or something like that. We'll see how it goes in the next couple months or this summer. But there we go. We got front and rear trail gear bumper. Front bumper is trail gear. The rear bumper is a trail gear as well. Looks amazing. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys got any questions, let me know. Catch you guys on the next video. Here it is.